Good afternoon and welcome to Museum Mondays at the Sacramento History Museum. I'm Robin Riggins, I'm a volunteer here, and I'm going to teach you how to decorate an early Victorian Christmas tree with paper ornaments. So we're going to have instructions will be posted on the video here later. But first we're going to talk about what we're going to make is a couple of garlands and a paper ornament. And these are the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need a stapler, a paper cutter, a ruler, something to mark with, scissors. And then you're going to need a piece of copy or printer paper, the real thin, flimsy stuff. And I'm going to do two different colors, or you can just do one, but you need cardstock for the ornament. So the nice thick paper. So we're going to start with the first one is the garland, and we're going to fold the paper in half lengthways. Now you can either cut it with your scissors right on the fold, or I'm going to use my paper cutter. So now I have two pieces of paper. We're going to set this one aside for the second garland, and we're going to work on this one. So once again, we're going to cut this one in half again lengthwise. Then we're going to take our ruler, and we're going to go to the open edge of the paper, and we're going to mark it every inch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, yeah, I can count to 10. That's good. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to do the same thing, except for this time we're going to start at half an inch, and then we're going to mark every inch thereafter. So 1.5 inches, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. I cut the open edge first, so we're just going to cut from your mark and up to the other end, but leave about 1/4 inch. Don't cut all the way through. So we're just going to snip. Now when I talk about early Victorian Christmas, I'm talking about the 1820s to 1860s. And the Christmas really wasn't that popular in the United States, but there were some things that started to make it very popular, and one of the first ones was in 1823 when Clement Moore wrote A Visit from St. Nicholas. And I'm sure you all know how that one starts. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Now we're going to turn this paper over, and we're going to cut from the mark once again. Almost all the way through, just leave 1/4 inch there. And then once Queen Victoria becomes the monarch, in 1848, she posts a picture of her and Albert and the kids all around a Christmas tree. And that's one of the German traditions that really stuck with Americans, is they really liked the Christmas tree. And of course it was one of the German traditions that they loved because they were both German. And there's the last one. We're going to open this up. You can lay it flat. And now the best part, the reveal. Are you ready? Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? Look at that. That's gonna look really great right up here on the Christmas tree. Great, now we're gonna move on to the second one. Once again, we're gonna mark our paper at the 1 inch mark, all the way down, just like we did on the previous one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the 1/2 inch, and we're going to go every inch from there on out. So 1.5 inches, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. Now this time we're not going to fold it, so we're just going to cut from our mark all the way up, and still leave that 1/4 inch. Don't cut all the way through. I'm just going to keep right on going. In 1863, that is when Thomas Nast started doing illustrations for Harper's Weekly. And he is the one who is credited for giving us our modern version of what Santa Claus looks like. Because he drew him in Harper's Weekly in 1863, showing him in the red coat with the fur cuffs and the beard and the real plump and jolly and having a sack full of toys. Almost. So there we've done half of it. Doesn't look like much, does it? Maybe like a hula skirt or something. But it'll look better once we finish it. We're going to cut the other side the same way. From the mark all the way up to 1/4 inch from the end. Now in early Victorian, we didn't have Christmas lights like we do on this tree here. They would put candles on the tree. So you can imagine all these beautiful paper ornaments and fire and a flammable tree. There were quite a few incidents that made the front page of Christmas trees burning down the house. So in 1882, Edward Johnson, who worked for Thomas Edison, created the first string of electric Christmas lights. Now it's time again for the big reveal. Look at how long you get for just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That one right on the tree too. Then we're going to move on to the ornament. We're going to make this ornament right here. So you're going to need a paper cutter. If you don't have a paper cutter, I'll show you how to do it without that. And we're going to cut 3 of each color. And you're going to cut 3/4 inch strips. Now, if you don't have a cutter, you're just going to measure down your paper, and you're going to cut mark it every 3/4 inch. But you only need, if you're going to do one color, you only need 3 strips. So it won't take you very long. Then mark the other side, and then draw a line between them on your marks, and then cut down that line, and then you'll have your 3 strips. Now, I'm going to measure mine at 3/4 inch off, and my cutter just so happens to have a groove right here for my 3/4 inch mark. So I can move pretty quickly to get 6 strips cut. I'm going to cut 3 of red and 3 of white. Make sure you do it on the long edge. You can do it on the short edge, but it's going to take you a lot more strips to get the ornament finished. And don't discount using some more modern, fun papers. So now, I want red on the outside of my ornament, so I'm going to cut 2 7-inch red pieces. So I'm going to mark them, 7. That's going to leave me a 4-inch piece. So save all of your scraps, because you can use them if you're making a lot of ornaments. You can use all these scraps to make more ornaments. And we're going to cut white ones at 6. That's going to leave me a 5-inch piece, but I don't need, so I'm going to save that one off for another ornament. And then it's going to be a 5-inch piece. I'll be able to get 2 5-inch pieces out of this. So I'm going to mark it at 5 and 10. And this little piece, I just haven't figured out what you're going to do with that little piece. So you can just toss that one away. And then we need to cut a 4-inch piece. And there they are. So now we're going to take them all in this order and stack them all up. And we're going to tamp them down. So all of them have got a real nice edge where they're all nice and even right there. And we're going to take our stapler and we're just going to staple it. Just like that. And we're going to flip it over and we're going to start matching up all of these ends. Now I find it easiest to do these long 3 on the outside first and then match them all up so they're all nice and even. And then get in here and grab that short one. Yeah, grab the short one. And push it up in there. And you can see it's taken shape now. Once we have that done, we're going to staple that just like that. Now you look at it and you go, oh no, it's all wonky. Don't worry about it. This paper is real flexible and we can just pull it around and make a nice shape. Now if you don't like that shape, maybe you want it to be more like that, or you can hang it like that, or that's starting to look like a heart. And you can hang it like that, or like that, however you like. Now, like I said, just play around with some papers. Here's some real pretty papers that you can make these ornaments out of. I made a couple of them here that have got some sparkly edges to them. Other things that they made to decorate the tree is you'd string cranberries to make a nice garland, so it looks like almost like beads. Orange slices. Any kind of dried fruit could be strung. Popcorn, nuts could be strung all together and put on the tree. Cinnamon sticks were put on the tree. And the Victorians loved paper. It was their medium that they had, paper and fabric, and that's what they made most everything out of. And it's amazing the intricacy you could get with cutting and folding papers, just like this little snowflake here. All the cutting and folding that they would do to get these intricate patterns. Also, you can cut paper dolls. These are little gingerbread men. So snowflakes, gingerbread men, paper dolls, and once you get it all on the tree, it looks beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed making some paper ornaments and adorning your tree to make it more of a Victorian style Christmas.